Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go over 5 stocks that I'm looking at here in the beginning days of 2023 that I'm looking at as trades. Let me say that again. These stocks that I'm looking at that we're going to talk about today, these are all for trades, not for a long-term investment. So keep that in mind, guys. We're going to break down charts in this video, what I'm looking at in the charts, and we're going to talk about the overall markets, kind of what's going on here as the year just started about 10 days ago. So if you guys find value, hit the like button, subscribe. That's all I ask. It really helps me out in the algorithm, and I appreciate you guys as always. And let's just dive right into the video. So today when I'm filming is January 10th, and it's about 12:30 p.m. right now, and the markets all across the board, they're kind of flat right now. And that's after, well, I guess the Russell's up 0.7%, but other than that, the markets are kind of flat. And that's after we had a very nice day yesterday. If you guys recall, on the 9th of January, the market shot up like crazy in the morning, which I think at one point all the indexes were up over 2% or pretty dang close. I think the Dow at one point was up over 2% yesterday, and then we ended up seeing a pretty decent sell-off to end off the day. As you guys can see, SPY was at 393 yesterday, then it sold off all the way down to 388, and now it's roughly at that same point. As SPY is pretty flat on the day right now, the Nasdaq's only up 0.1%, Dow's up 0.02, so pretty much flat. As, like I said, the Russell's up 0.7%, so pretty strong day for the small caps today, but other than that, it's pretty flat all across the board. And if I pull up the 4-hour chart, you guys can see the head and shoulders is still intact on SPY. We're still under the neckline at about 390, 388. And same thing pretty much here on Triple Q, which if I pull it up, you guys are going to see still in the head and shoulders, still under the neckline at about 278, 280. That is still very obvious to me right now. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. So, yeah, today it's been a pretty boring day, to be honest, when it comes to the overall markets, although there are some stocks that we're going to talk about today in this video that do look pretty decent. So, let's just do that. Let's just dive into the stocks that I'm looking at. And actually, let me pop up my notes because I didn't pull my notes up for some reason, and that's where all these stocks are listed. So, even though the markets are flat, like I said, there are some stocks that are making some pretty decent moves today. Number one is Pinterest. Let me pull it up. Ticker symbol PINS. This is up 3.5% today. It's right around $25.75 per share. And if you guys look here, and mind you, we've talked about this stock before. Now we're going to be testing a key level again. If you guys look here, 26 is that key level. That's been a resistance since the beginning of September, even before that, stemming back from the beginning of August. We've literally failed at 26 bucks, 25.75, well over 5 times. I mean, we're talking close to 10 times at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're testing it again. So, I mean, this is a very big level of resistance for Pinterest, where if it breaks out of this point, I think initially we could shoot towards $27, which is the high from the middle of December. Then if that is able to break, if I pull the 3-year, if I zoom in a little bit on the 3-year, you're going to see back in March, February of 2022, we hit about $28. So I think in the very short term, we could be pushing 27, 28. Now, if Pinterest could break out of 28, I mean, this thing could really start to fly. But baby steps, guys, baby steps. Let's see what it's going to do at $26. It's not out of that point yet. Of course, 27 bucks as well. And this is an ascending triangle. That's kind of the pattern playing out here. So let's see what happens at $26. I'm going to set my alert there right now, guys. Let's do that. Mark is at or above. I'll put it a little bit above that. $26.25. So the next stock, and mind you, Pinterest is reporting earnings in about a month, not even actually, about 3 weeks from now on the 2nd of February is when they're currently scheduled. So Pinterest, keep your eyes out on that company. I mean, this is one that I'm not trying to make a prediction or anything, but if they, let's say, hypothetically knock earnings out of the park, this could be one that rips. But, of course, I mean, are they going to knock earnings out of the park? That's kind of, I don't want to say far-fetched, but in the environment we're in right now, considering a lot of money from Pinterest comes from advertising, I don't know. It's going to be difficult. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, guys. PINS is the ticker. Netflix is another one that I'm looking at, of course, very closely in the beginning of this year. And, it's one that I'm going to be watching for the entire year because look, today it's up 2.7% when I'm filming, and it's clear to me that the bulls are back in charge. We saw a little bit of downside on Netflix, which, I mean, it makes sense considering it ran up a ton heading into that 332 high here. But that high hit on the 13th of December. Then we saw a bit of a drop to about 275. It lost about 16% of its, of its value there. And now it's back pretty much to that level from the middle of December now. And at that point, again, we were making lower highs. You guys can see that. Let me show you. At one point, Netflix's chart really started to turn for the worse, and we were covering this in real time, and we even took the low out here. You guys can see we took the low out here from this low right here, so it wasn't looking good, but bulls came back. We clearly broke out of the moving averages, ran through the highs from the end of December. Now it looks like Netflix wants to test 330 again, 335, and if that's able to break, which, I think it could happen, Netflix could continue the momentum. And let's see here, if I pull the 3-year, we have, 3-year shows support. March 2022 was right around 330. Okay, that makes 330 even a bigger level of resistance. So if we're able to break 330, guys, we could be playing in this window from 330 all the way up to 400. If you guys look here on the 3-year chart, back in the beginning of last year, so pretty much a year ago, Netflix was trading between 330 to about 400. You guys see it right here. You see this range right here where my arrow is. Let me zoom in even more so you guys can see it. 330 to 400. That is the next window here that Netflix could be getting into if we start breaking on the 4-hour chart, which we're not there yet, but we're pretty close, which is why I'm talking about Netflix in this video and why it is on the top of my watch list to start off the year. So Netflix is reporting earnings on the 19th, so that's 9 days from now. And this next company, Goldman Sachs, they're reporting in a week from now. They're reporting on the 17th of January, and Goldman Sachs today is up about $3, roughly 1%. Not too bad of a day for Goldman Sachs. As look at this, guys. I want to show you what I'm seeing here as we are, if I clear the drawing set, getting some buying pressure above the highs from a couple months ago, which is very important. Look at this. A couple months ago, back in September, August too, we were right around 340, 345-ish. That's where Goldman Sachs was peaking out at, and then it obviously saw a drop all the way down under $300. Now, in the past couple of days, and really, in the past couple of weeks, to be honest, for the past almost month at this point, Goldman Sachs has been holding that 340 level, 345. Now it's over 350, right? So we're getting clear buying pressure above the highs from a couple months ago, and now we're actually going to test this particular high from the middle of August, which if I, extend it, I'm mixing up my words here, guys. You guys can see Goldman Sachs back in the middle of August was right around $355 to about $7, which is where that is, or the stock is right now. So if Goldman Sachs takes this point out, guys, this could be a big mover, with earnings coming up. And the fact that earnings are coming up makes it a little bit more tricky because personally, guys, I don't gamble on earnings. You guys know that if you're a long-term viewer of the channel. I've been saying this for years. I don't just buy puts or calls or buy a bunch of shares the day before earnings. I used to do that sometimes, made some money, lost even more money, and, it just wasn't worth it. So let's see how it plays out. With earnings in a week, what is that? Next Tuesday, so we have today, or not, obviously today, the rest of this week, Monday. So we'll see if we make a move before earnings, and then if we don't, we'll see how earnings are, and we'll reevaluate after that. So Goldman Sachs, keep your eyes on it. Walmart, WMT, let me pull that up. WMT, you guys can see here, is also looking pretty interesting. It's been actually crushing it. I'm not sure if you guys have realized, but Walmart, it got destroyed back in, and honestly, if you're looking at the chart, you're like, yeah, it's crushing it, but it just filled the gap from where it was, in the middle of May. If you guys remember, middle of May, it was right around $150. Then it tanked all the way to 117, lost 21% of its value. Now we're pretty much back to that 145.50 mark where we were in the middle of May. We just filled that gap, and we'll see if we end up breaking through. This is going to be a big spot on Walmart, which clearly right now in real time, we are struggling at this point. The low here from the middle of May being about 145, that's a big resistance right now. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to set my alert at maybe $148. I'll do that now. Mark is at or above $148 here on Walmart. If we're able to push through that point, this could really start running mid 150s, which is the high here. The range roughly mid 150s from the end of November, early December. If that breaks, boom, we could be going top of the channel here. So Walmart, watch out for it. And last but not least, if you guys stuck till the end, let me know in the comments. Say stuck till the end. Drop a money emoji or just drop a comment, guys. I really appreciate all the engagement from you all as always. So the last stock is Adobe. I know I've talked about Adobe a lot, but I want to keep talking about it because the chart looks pretty good in my opinion. And although I'd love to see this thing go under 300, the market doesn't give a crap about what I like or what I want or what I think should happen. The market doesn't care, guys, and that's just the reality of the matter. The market doesn't care about what you think, what you want, what you're going to do, what I want to do, right, or where I want to buy stock. The market just does not give a crap, and we have to play what the market is giving us. And in this case, this thing is poised for a breakout. It looks like it is. We have an ascending triangle here. All we have to do is break 350, which we are seeing a bit of resistance at again. But if we could break through that point, and I'll set my alert a little bit above that, 352, Adobe could fill the gap to 363. If that were to break, we're talking this could run towards $400. I'm not even kidding, guys. This could happen quickly. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm saying it could happen. That's the type of stock that Adobe is. And we don't have to worry about earnings or anything with this. I mean, they already reported earnings about a month ago. So, we don't have to worry about guidance or numbers screwing up the chart. We'll see. I mean, there could be some other catalyst that screws things up. But, at this point, let's just play it by ear and see how it goes, guys, at about $352. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe and check out my second channel, Stocks Talks Money. And if you guys want some free stocks, who doesn't like free money, you could get up to 15 stocks for Moomoo, link down below, and 12 stocks from Webull, also linked down below. And guess what? My Patreon is also linked down below as well if you guys want to check it out and join that. All the details down below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching as always. Peace out.